Good afternoon, Facebook, Instagram family, YouTube, TikTok, and all the other platforms, X, and everything else that's out there. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Back to the World, my brother and my sister's keeper. I'm Tony, and the music that we're listening to in the background, we don't own the rights to. But if you have any comments, questions, or anything that you care to share, just kindly hit me in the boxes down below. Okay? Had a relatively busy day. Started off that way. And just kind of wrapped things up about maybe 15-20 minutes ago. And for the entire morning, since 10 o'clock, I've been wanting to come to you guys live. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't have anything to talk about then, and nor do I have anything that's major to talk about right now. But sometimes you don't need to have anything to talk about in order for people to feel you and feel your spirit. You know? And sometimes things come to you as an epiphany. You know, it's like you've had a revelation. And it's things that you thought you probably have known all your life, or if not, for many, many years. And just thinking back on my life, and that's the only one that I can really, really indulge and talk about to a certain degree. Because I haven't learned everything. I don't know everything. You know? There are many things that I may learn within this next hour that I've never known all my life. But I know sometimes people just put fancy words in fancy places because they deal with the aesthetics of what that word, of what we think that word means, as opposed to truly knowing the meaning of that word. You know, and I think the word love confounds all of us. You know, I'm a firm believer that it's the sixth element. Because so that there are so many things that are done in the name of love. I'm talking about good and evil, right? Love is very potent. I think it's a power that many of us, we can put it this way, we can, you know, we can't truly harness it. We can't own it. We can possess it, but we can't truly take ownership of it. Sometimes I think that love is too powerful for man to handle, because it triggers and brings about so many other emotions. You know, I think the person that gets it half right is blessed. I think that is a very, very wise person, a person that gets half the understanding of truly what love is. And see, when we talk about frequency and vibrations, I know it sounds kind of spookish. You know, it sounds sort of transcendental. But when you think about it, just about everything functions on a certain wavelength, a certain rhythm, a certain timing. Because in order for there to be any true understanding, if two people are having a conversation, while one's talking, one must listen. There's an exchange there. when people are dancing, one lead, one follow. Both of you can't lead and both of you can't follow. So it has to be the yin, it has to be the yang. It has to be a give and it has to be a give and take. You know, and we take this, we take it for granted. And I think that a lot of our life's problems would be solved if we discontinue trying to give things a logical logic. You can't add any more water to a full glass. Just can't do it. But yes, sometimes we try. We will overflow a glass when there's no more glass to be filled. Now, in the Jewish faith, there's a practice that's called Havdalah. Now, Havdalah is different. It's when you have a chalet or a cup and you fill it, but you also have a saucer or a plate beneath it, so that as your cup runneth over, all the overflow goes into that plate. See, something has been put in place for that. But under normal circumstances, you just can't fill a full glass. And I think that sometimes when our heart's heavy and when our heart is full, we try to fill it. We try to fill it with more than it can handle. You can only take so much. And I think that a lot of mental illness, oftentimes, you know, it's hereditary. You know, but sometimes certain things, man, you know, you could not be born with a mental illness. There are certain things, and the way you perceive things, the way you approach life, can cause you to have a nervous breakdown. That's because your cup is already full and you're constantly trying to take in more. Let's think about give and take, stop and go, talk and listen. Think of all the highways and freeways throughout this United States, right? There are many accidents on the highway per year. You know, AAA talks about it, and different highway patrols, they talk about all the accidents and the casualties that's on the road, right? Let me tell you, when you think about all the cars that are packing our U.S. highways every day, daily journeys, non-stop. When you add that up, those accidents will seem minuscule. It doesn't it still impacts you. And if you've had any loved ones that was hurt in an accident, it still affects you. It doesn't make the situation lighter or any easier to deal with, because you know that there are millions and millions of automobiles on the highway at a certain time, at any given time. But it helps you put things in perspective, and you say, you know what? I shouldn't stress this a whole lot. You know, a friend told me the other day, because a lot of people would say the way I think, you know, I'm paranoid. Well, that's not true. Hold on. My phone has gotten hot, so let me put it over here and let it cool off. But I'm not paranoid, ladies and gentlemen.
Hanomoto.
I'm not paranoid. I'm a pragmatist. I have a tendency to think things through. And the friend said that, you know, you can't outrun destiny. Surely you can't. But you can hold hands with it. Meaning that when you know that a situation is dangerous, all right, you don't loan yourself to the dangerous side of it. You do whatever you can to eliminate yourself. You don't just go through with it. See, you know, being aware is not being paranoid. And see, awareness in the greatest sense of things to the universe, awareness is conscious. When you're a conscious individual, right? That's what's important. You have to be conscious. So, and I'm talking about the rhythm of things. When you see there's a situation that has danger to it, then there's an opposite side that reflects it. There's an opposite side that's not dangerous. So you try to move in that light. You know, there is darkness, but there's also light. So there's danger, but then there's also safety. Now, I'm not saying every time you step out, you look, okay, well, what can be worse about this day? If it's cloudy, but it's not yet raining, no one would blame you if you brought a raincoat or an umbrella. So, if cars are racing down a boulevard at 65 miles per hour, why are you walking? The phone went out again. Why are you walking across? Excuse me a sec, y'all. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my partner just made it here. I'm going to wrap up, but if you sort of get my drift, right? That's all I'm saying. You try to find a comfort zone in which you can move. Okay? I just kind of wanted to come on and talk to you guys briefly and share some of my idioms and thank you for doing so. I'm going to finish my cigar. I'll go ahead and have our meeting. Okay? Thank you guys. Peace.